Today, we give thanks for all the fathers, the grandfathers, and the father figures who helped shape us. The men whose strength and courage have been pillars for us to lean on. The men whose faithfulness has laid down an example for us to live by. The men who showed us how to love Jesus with an unquenchable passion. The men who gave of themselves time and time again. For all the times you were patient, even though we didn't deserve it. For the grace you've shown in moments of struggle. For the days you gave of your time when there wasn't much left to give. For loving us, guiding us, leading us, and showing us Jesus. For all these things, we say thank you. We love you, Dad.
Today's scripture reading is coming from two different books in the Bible. The first part is Proverbs, and the second part will be out of Luke. Proverbs, wisdom is supreme. Listen, my sons, to a father's instructions. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. When I was a boy in my father's house, still tender and only child of my mother, he taught me and said, lay hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or swerve from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. Wisdom is supreme, therefore get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Esteem her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace on your head and present you with a crown of splendor. Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I guide you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked, or walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way. Now to the book of Luke. From part of the parable of the lost son, scripture, verses 20 through 24. So he got up and went to his father, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I have sinned against you and against heaven. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.
Okay, this morning we have the message given by Brian Ganz from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Brian came to Central Illinois after attending McMurray College in Jacksonville. His career with Big Brothers Big Sisters started as a junior with his internship at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Then he became a big brother. After he graduated in 1995, he worked as a caseworker in Jacksonville for those 3 years before becoming the executive director. Brian took a hiatus from Big Brothers Big Sisters in 2008, but he returned in 2019. So Brian's belief in the Big Brothers Big Sisters mission is what brought him back. So now I welcome and you welcome, and we'll turn this over to Brian to tell us why.
Thank you very much. I had a good old speech prepared, and then I started hearing some of the messages today, and I'm probably going to improvise a little bit, but I promise to be within that 15-minute time frame. So I did start with Big Brothers Big Sisters as an intern. Growing up in my life, there were several people I had in my life besides mom or dad that I could point to that helped encourage me along the way, or would just drag me along. I had an Uncle Pat who passed away this past year. He was very instrumental in my love of sports, and he kept encouraging me all the way. He wasn't able to make a lot of my games, but every time I talked to him, he'd ask me how things were going, and just having somebody besides mom or dad take an interest in me was huge in my life. And when I started at Big Brothers Big Sisters, I realized how impactful that is for everybody, but yet not everybody has that person to ask them those questions. We had a great toolbox here that talked about, tools that parents, that fathers have in their bag. We have a lot of kids growing up in our program that don't have a father in their lives. That toolbox is not available to them. That makes a huge impact on our community. It really does. The thing about mentoring is that is a tool the Lord has given all of us, right? We all probably have had raise your hand if you've had a mentor besides mom or dad in your life, right? How many of you have either through Big Brothers Big Sisters or informally been able to be that mentor to somebody else? Right? That's something that anybody can do. It really is. My experience started with that internship. Then I became a big brother to my little brother, Chris. I ran into Chris. Now, granted, remember when I did my internship, it was still in the 1900s, okay? But my little brother, I just ran into him not too long ago. And I remember when I was matched with him initially, he was a goofball 11, 12-year-old kid that wanted to do anything but school. And, he didn't really have tons of direction, And he had a dad at home. He didn't have a mom at home, but he lived in a home that was fairly chaotic, and just the chance to get out and do things with somebody was a big deal for him. Well, I ran into him a couple months ago, and he was talking about his job. He has become a supervisor. There's a tire retreading place in Jacksonville, and he's a supervisor there. And it was neat for me to hear him complain about the younger kids and how nobody has any work ethic anymore, and it was really full circle for me to see how the kid that I remember that really had no work ethic at all, was now in a leadership position and trying to mentor his own employees how to take it to that next level. And there's something very powerful about that. Talking about tools for fathers, mentoring is a tool that everybody has in their toolbox. Big Brothers Big Sisters provides the blueprint to successful mentoring for those that need it the most. So what we do is we enroll volunteers, we enroll the children. We want to get to know our volunteers and the children as best we can so we can make a successful match. We want you to be matched with somebody that you're going to have fun with, right? We want someone that's going to have the same interests as you. In setting up to come talk here today, someone mentioned that we have more volunteers in their 60s and 70s, and the question was raised, are they too old to volunteer? My answer is no, definitely not. I had a volunteer. This has been a while back, but He was in his 70s, and he would meet with his little was one of the most ADD kids I have ever met. He couldn't do anything for more than 15 minutes at a time, but his big was, he was also very self-deprecating, right? So he said, well, I think he just wants to meet with me for a free meal. That's what he would always say. Completely wasn't true, but they developed a habit because his little had flunked the second grade. So that summer, their goal was to read 15 minutes before they went out and did whatever activity they were going to do. At the end of the summer, I get a call from Jonathan's teacher. Brian, what has Jonathan's big brother done? And I'm like, I don't know. What did he do? And she said, well, Jonathan, she had him the year before. And she said, I really was worried that his reading was going to regress, as it does with most students when they're gone for the summer and they don't read. She says, his reading didn't only not regress, he jumped 4 grade levels. Or not grade levels, but 4 reading levels, And I said, well, he read with his big brother 15 minutes before they got together every week. And that was enough to do it. That was enough to do it, One of the misconceptions about Big Brothers Big Sisters is you have to go to Sky Zone, or you have to go to Chuck E. Cheese every week, or you have to do something extraordinary with your little. The reality is, I just interviewed 2 kids this week, and I asked them, I always ask them, what do you want to do with your big? Or what's important to you in having a big? And both of them said, I want someone that'll listen to me. If you take an interest in that child, they will take an interest in you and listen to what you have to say. That doesn't mean you can't do some fun things along the way, We've got one of my stories, and I'm not going to get into the stories, but one of the things she said is she got involved because she liked doing kid things. And, as a 28-year-old, you can't really do kid things by yourself. People kind of look at you strange, But having a little with her, then she could do the fun things she's wanting to do and have a reason to do them, But when you ask most of our matches, most of our littles, at the end of their match, what their favorite activities are, it's not the trip to Six Flags they talk about. It's the fact that they decided on a meal together, wrote a list, went to the grocery store, bought that list, went back to the house, cooked the meal, and ate it. Those are the things that the kids really remember. A lot of the kids we serve are from single-parent families. There are others that have both parents in the home. Some of them don't have a lot of, a lot of them are poor, But those mundane, ordinary things that you do mean a lot to kids that don't get to do those mundane things on a regular basis. Some things as easy as having a schedule. Knowing that you're going to get picked up every, Saturday or Friday night or Wednesday night or Thursday night at 6 o'clock, and having somebody ready to go. I mean, that sounds simple, right? But for a lot of our families, they don't know what a schedule is. They don't know how to use a schedule. They don't know why it's important. And so, there's a whole. There are so many life skills taught within Big Brothers Big Sisters, just among the ordinary everyday things. A couple stories I want to share with you real quick. Let me pick out the one that you're going to. All right, so Annika and Elizabeth were matched in May. Elizabeth works at HR at Springfield Clinic. Annika's 12-year-old, been matched 2 times in the past. Both times her match closed because the volunteer had significant unavoidable changes in her life. Annika lives in a neighborhood where drug deals and drive-by shootings have been witnessed. The children in the home face challenges and temptations every day which could lead to a life of crime. While the mom works 2 jobs and tries her best with help from her mother, who also lives in the home, a big sister is an essential voice in Annika's ear to help keep a positive message about making positive choices and avoiding juvenile delinquency. Annika's a sweet kid with a lot of potential. Children in her neighborhood have a high dropout rate. Mom's concerned that Annika might lose interest in school like so many others in the neighborhood and will want to drop out. Mom is hopeful that Annika's relationship with Elizabeth will keep Annika inspired to stay in school and reach her full potential. The day Elizabeth and Annika met, they hit it off immediately. They shared a love of ice cream. Right before Mother's Day, they picked out a stepping stone to make for Annika's mom, right? They did not think the kit came up with enough bling, so they went out and picked up some more bling to help decorate it, right? They went to make it at a park, but they quickly realized that they might have added 4 times the amount of water needed. So they had to scrap it and do it again the next time they got together. But Annika meticulously put thought into every decoration they put on the stone. And it meant a lot for her to be able to give that to her mom on Mother's Day. They like a lot of the same things, and Elizabeth sees that potential in Annika. And it's Annika being able to see herself through Elizabeth's eyes that's going to make a huge impact in her life. So, one other story I'm going to share with you quickly, and then Talea was matched 4 years ago with Lauren. She was a freshman in high school, and always thought she was going to be around Springfield. Didn't really think she would be able to go to college. Never thought college was going to be a goal for her. No one in her family had gone to college. It didn't seem very realistic to her. We matched her with Lauren, who's a banker in town. And they began meeting and talking, and through the Mentor 2.0 program that we have, started talking as freshmen about what she might like to do when she gets older, and psychology was always an interest of hers, but she never thought it would be a possibility. Well, Lauren started talking with her about what that future might look like. Talea started paying more attention to her grades towards the end of her freshman year. Got to be her sophomore year, started picking classes based off of the fact that she could potentially go to college. Now, she was thinking, all right, I'll probably go to Lincoln Land for 2.5 years and then maybe to UIS, But with the help of Lauren saw the potential in her. She said, why don't you try to, expand your search? Where would you really like to go to school? And one of the first schools that came out of her mouth was University of Memphis. She said, I'd love to go to University of Memphis, but there's no way I'm getting into University of Memphis. So Lauren and her began talking, and just Lauren began filling her with, if you want to go there, apply there. Worst they're going to do is tell you no. That's not going to be any different than if you didn't apply, right? So she applied. She got accepted. Right? Then the struggle was, I'm never going to be able to pay for that, though. I'm glad that I got in, but I'm not going to be able to go. So Lauren began talking with her about different scholarship opportunities, and Talea was dragging her feet. And finally last year, Lauren sat down with her and just said, look, if you want to go here, you can. You just have to do these things to do it. So she began doing them. And I'm proud to say that this fall, Talea is going to be starting. The coolest thing for me, in the Mentor 2.0 program, every Wednesday I was in the classroom at Southeast. Talea had just gotten back on Monday from her visit to University of Memphis. And, you see a lot of these kids in their everyday life, and they're just trying to get through school. They've got that look on their face that all of us had when we were in school, right? Let's get through this. But the way her eyes shined that day, having been to Memphis and having her world opened to a completely new scenario, she had a grin from ear to ear that I had never seen before. And she knew she had made it. She knows she can do what she did. She went down there and had conversations with people. She's already got a network of people lined up to be her support down there. She's gonna succeed. And that would never have happened without her big sister, Lauren. So everybody in here has the tools to be a great mentor Big Brothers Big Sisters can help you, help guide you in that manner, and we can help match you with a child that really needs it. We really need more mentors. We really need more people for some of the committees we have. If you don't think becoming a mentor is, so we have the 3 different programs we have. We got our community base. That's where you meet 2 to 4 times a month, go do activities out in the community 2 to 4 hours at a time. That's the traditional program, think of. We also have the Mentor 2.0 program, which I talked a little bit about. That's at Southeast High School. A program that used to be very successful, but COVID really kind of killed it, was our school-based mentoring. So long no volunteers were even allowed into the schools. We're wanting to really bring that back this year. And I'm going to try to, want to try to meet with some of the folks here at Chatham so we can maybe try to get some school-based mentoring started in the Chatham grade schools as well. And I know Chatham Ball is just across the road here, right? Is that right? To me, that would be a great fit. The nice thing about that is most of the activities you do at the school are play Uno, board games, help with homework. There's not a lot of crazy activities. You're not going to be jumping on a trampoline or anything like that at the school. And one thing I know about the kids, if someone takes an interest in them, they don't care what your age is. They're just glad you're paying attention to them and are going to have some fun with them. So everybody here would be more than invited to come participate in our program. Those are the 3 programs we have. But if you want to help but don't think being a mentor is what you want to do, we also have some committees that we'd like you to consider getting involved with as well. We've got our volunteer recruitment committee. We're always looking for ways to get more volunteers involved. We got a sponsorship committee that's going to help us try to get hole and lane sponsors for Bowl for Kids' Sake and our golf outing. We've got a match activity committee, a Bowl for Kids' Sake committee. Bowl for Kids' Sake is our biggest fundraiser of the year. That's going to be on October 25th and 26th. We invite everybody to attend. We also have a golf committee, which is at Piper Glen. Our golf outing's on Piper Glen on August the 8th. And then we've also recently started a Queen of Hearts drawing that we have a committee for as well. Queen of Hearts is at Casa Real, if you know where that is, by Shields. Casa Real used to be where Canes is now, but that's the building that they tore down. They moved and went over to Shields. So we also need people to help sell tickets at Casa Real as well. So if you're interested in helping in any one of those ways, we would love to have you. Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around for over 50 years. I've only been involved since 1994, but to me it's an essential part of the community, and we need to do everything we can to make it as big as it once was. So we could really use your help to do that. I appreciate everybody's time today. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are in attendance. Happy Father's Day also to any mothers who have filled that role that are in here as well. I appreciate everybody, and thank you for your time.